he did away with what they call the death tax, that if you have an estate over $3 million, you pay 48% tax.
Holy
So if
shit.
you are worth over $3 million and you're old and you die, the government comes in and takes half of that before you get to give it to your kids. Do you think that's right?
But do you know how much that affects?
A lot.
What, 1% of the population?
That's a lot of people. 1% of 300 million people is 3,000 people. That's a lot of people.
3,000 people. Not really. Like 1% of 300 million.
Is 3,000 people.
It's a
It's
lot.
30,000 people, excuse me.
30,000.
That's
Like-
a lot of people.
like-
Those people still are those people that are, you talking about the small 1%, they pay over 70% of federal income tax is paid by the 1%. Because say if you make 10 million, say if you make $100 million and you pay 20%, just like you or I would pay 20% at a part-time job. If you make if you make $100 million and you're paying 20% tax, which is about what you pay, that's $20 million. That's more than most entire towns make in their entire career, let alone paying taxes. How much more should they pay?
But how much more do they need?
That's not up to us. We're in a free market society. That's not up to us. Prices
Why?
are cheap because there's competition.
Yeah.
Because you can open up one gas station, and if it's the only gas station in the town, they can charge whatever the hell they want. But in a free market society, whether a billionaire owns the company or not, they can open up a gas station right next door and drive the prices down to normal. That's what Walmart does. Walmart's owned by a company with a collective net worth of over $100 billion. No one talks about it because they provide cheap products to mostly normal people. I don't want to say poor people, but more normal people. Everybody goes to Walmart. You need something cheap, you get $1 spray paint, $1 can of spray paint, and some cheese and a bottle of milk, and you're out.
Shout out Walmart. Went shopping today.
Shout out the Walton families.
Walton. Oh yeah, they set off. They're set off for life.
It's whether it's unfortunate or not, that's the way America is. There's rich people. Some people, you are not worse off because somebody else is well off. Do I think that there should be more of a wealth share? I don't know. That's not up to me. I tell you what, I'm working hard to get part of that 1%. You can't beat them, join them, and I tell you right now, you're not going to beat them.
No,
You're not going to beat them.
you are not going to beat them.
Yeah, I don't think money should be taken away because
It's redistribution of
you
wealth.
put your blood, sweat, and tears into it.
I was explaining flat taxes to somebody the other day, and I said whether you make $10 a year or $10 million a year, you would get paid a certain tax. You would get paid a certain amount. And they said, well, how else could you do that? Why would somebody else pay a different amount? I said, well, a lot of people think that if you don't make that much, you should get taxed less. But it works out to an even less percentage because there is an elevated tax plan. I think you all three of us probably make around the same hourly. I know he has a couple different jobs, but probably make around the same hourly, and we probably get taxed the same. But when all of us graduate and all of us get a career making X amount of dollars, we're going to want to know exactly how much we get paid, and we're going to do everything we can to get out of that.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to say, it's easy to be wanting to get to the top and say, well, how much faster can your yacht be? It's just not a sane game to play because it doesn't work. It doesn't. Their water doesn't come out of their faucet 20 times faster if they pay 20 times the amount of tax. The cops don't come to their house 20 times faster, and a lot of people might argue that. But the cops don't come to their house 20 times faster. They're not 20% better than you. They're not any better than anybody because they have more money. They just
had more drive than other people.
Well, a lot of people are born with a lot of money, and I'm not saying anything about that. I'm not saying there's people that are born like the Hilton kids were born into being the Trump kids. Look at the Trump kids; it's a perfect example.
Trump isn't. No, Trump himself.
Okay,
He took $1 million loan from his father and
turned
built
it
a $1 billion
into- yeah.
company.
He had inherited wealth though.
He
$1
took
million to
his
$1 billion?
Father only gave him $1 million. When his father died, he didn't give him anything.
What year was that in?
1970 something.
So even more than $1 million today.
So okay, to call it inflation, call it $4 million. But he didn't just take that $4 million and blow it on whiskey and fast women. Like he built a $1 billion enterprise, which his kids now run for him. He took the Trump organization took a $600 million loss last year because he wanted to make America great again. Whether or not he did, and whether or not he said some foul shit on the way, is a whole other thing. But I don't know. His daughter's the CEO of the Trump organization, and it got passed to his son, who just recently got divorced.
And then they're like, no big deal with conflict of interest.
Well, what's the conflict of interest?
Like that he just didn't put it into a blind trust.
Why would he put it into a blind trust? His kids can run it. He removed himself totally. He doesn't come in any income from that anymore.
So you're saying like his sons like people don't try to talk to his sons and try to get access to the president of the United States.
No, that'd be called treason, and they'd be brought to jail. They don't. There's only Ivanka is part of the Trump organization as it pertains to American politics. Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump run the company, and have nothing to do with American politics. Now, whether they have back order like meetings and that, I don't know about, and that's never been proven or even brought up. I don't know that is what it is, but I don't know that I can just say things like that. I can't. You can't just speculate. I don't know.
Here's like I don't know if anything's going on, but I'm just keeping my eye open. Like if I like journalists out there have to keep doing their job.
Well, you think he's the first rich president?
No,
Of course not.
no.
He's just the first billionaire. I mean, Jimmy Carter had a lot of money. The Bushes have.
Oh, the Bushes own the Rangers.
Used to own the Rangers. He
Used
sold.
to.
He sold it when he was running for president because it was a conflict of interest. You don't remember when he had a meeting when Trump had a meeting and he laid out 55,000 pieces of paperwork removing him from everything Trump organization. You don't remember that when they had a huge. Yeah, they had a huge desk. It was just right before. I think was that right after he was president elect still.
I don't remember exactly when it was, but
I think it was a
remember
time
happening.
that he knew. I think it was after he knew that he was going to be president. He was president elect. They brought out 55,000 sheets of paper. It was 5 stacks like this high, removing him from everything.
That's a lot of trees.
Don't do that. Removing him from
Global
everything
warming
Trump
myth.
organization.
It is a myth.
It is a myth.
I hate you all.
Global warming's not a myth. The extent to which the media reports it is a myth,
Yes.
and I do think
the
there's a
extent to
human
which the
in it.
media reports to everything is a myth.
I think that we have something to do with it. I think that we should probably back down a lot, and there should be more green options for people. I agree with you, but it's a cyclical system, and I think that we're paying into it. I think the humans. You know what's one of the worst things, and it's one of the funniest things. The two worst things, aside from cars, that go towards a diminishing atmosphere, which is real. It's not global
China.
warming anymore. It's global climate change. Us taking China aside because they don't do anything with pollution, is airplanes and cow farts.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Cow farts are huge, dude.
Oh, yeah.
They have these big suction cups they put on the back side of cows, and there's a bag over them. And I swear to God, I can't make this up. I swear, I'll retweet it later. I showed it to my dad. He was like, I don't believe that. And I showed it to him. He was like, you got to be kidding me. There's a suction cup they put over their buttholes, and there's a huge. It goes into. You seen it? It goes into a big tank.
I believe you. Like I honestly
And
believe you.
that was one of the things that Obama did. It's a huge problem. Methane there's over 3 billion cattle at any time in the in the world.
And a lot
That's a
of
lot of farts.
yeah, and
They fart a lot because they eat gassy food to build them up.
yeah. And also, like in Brazil, they're cutting down the Amazon rainforest, one of the largest producers of oxygen in the world, for cattle ranches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like
We definitely have something to do with it, but I just think that Al Gore lost his Nobel Peace Prize because they fabricated almost all of the facts in that.
see, I don't listen to Al Gore. I listen to scientists that actually study it.
Yeah.
And, I'll read scientific journals. I'll read them. I'm like,
It's a journey of life.
you
I'm
and
on Team
life.
People.
Hmm?
I'm on Team People. Fuck it.
Team people.
Yeah. People say you shouldn't eat animals. Okay, well, tofu tastes like shit, so give me a steak.
Yeah, that's like what I feel like. I'm like, look, it's there. I'm just gonna be like, okay, yeah, it's real. I'm gonna do all that I can, like, reasonably. Like, I'll recycle, I'll drive less, I'll carpool. Yeah, whatever, but I'm gonna go, like...
I recycle. I drive a truck, so I don't care about that.
Yeah, no. I don't care. I'm about to buy a bike, which is very fuel efficient, but, like, emits, like, more harmful chemicals because there's no cat or, like, something like that. No, it's true, though.
You guys have inspections in Illinois?
Yes. No.
We don't here.
Yes.
You can
yes,
drive whatever
that's
the hell you
what-
want down here. You can get into the street, you can drive it down here. To some extent.
Yeah. So I think we got our
was a good
inspirational quote of the night.
That was a good politics section. That was good. That's how conversations should work.
Yes, that's how
Yes.
they should work. Not
Yes.
standing on a podium screaming.
I could have got on the table and yelled and ran out with my shirt off over my head, but I didn't.
Yeah,
We talked, and I
Yeah.
learned something.
exactly. Exactly.
Very.
But
Inspire me.
what do we got planned for next week?
I don't know.
Wait, aren't we going to stupid arguments?
We already did stupid arguments.
What?
Water's wet, bro. Water's
Water
not
is
wet.
What?
Yeah,
Can we
not
do
wet.
a paper towel right quick?
Fine, we could do the paper towel real quick.
So a straw. Think of a straw. How many holes are in a straw?
Obvious. It's
Is
pretty
it
obvious.
one on the right and one on the left?
Or is that just one?
No, it's not.
It's not.
Google
it's two.
what is a hole? Because a hole is defined as, from what I looked up yesterday, a hole is defined as an opening.
An opening. Mike, what are your thoughts on this?
I think what determines whether or not there's two holes is distance between two said holes. If it's just a hairpin or like a watch, that's just one hole. But if there's a long area between it, like a straw, that's two holes.
Mm-hmm. That is two holes.
Water goes in one way, and it can
And
come
comes
out
out the
another
other.
hole.
You're oddly very quiet on this.
Because he wants to know the facts before he jumps in.
Yes,
That's
I do.
Mike. That's
That is
Mike.
me.
He wants to know the facts. Like a cup has one hole. There's one. You can't come out of it. There's one right here. Beer bottle has one hole.
Well, okay, maybe like I've been shooting beer pong and I've seen a ball go in and out of that hole. So like I don't know,
A lot,
just
right?
did, but
Too much.
like, but yes,
They're like a cigar. When you cut a cigar, there's a hole at one end and a hole at the other end.
that you manufactured.
Two clearly different holes because one's on fire and one you're breathing into.
You could
Shout
make the
out
argument
Cancer.
that there's no hole.
Who? Who's making that argument?
Because a hole is defined as a hollow place in a solid body or surface. I'm just saying that's an argument that was made.
Hollow. I mean,
I'm saying it was an
hollow.
argument that was made.
Well, that argument is flawed.
I think it's only one hole.
Jesus.
I do. I really do think it's only one hole. I saw something. I saw a fact. I can't find it now. Because it has one opening through the middle and it's just connected.
But something has two holes, like a straw has two openings.
I think it's one hole.
So if you go into Volcano Bay and you ride a thing and you go around, you enter through what? What do they call
An
it?
entrance.
Don't do that. You enter through an entrance,
entrance.
or one would call it a hole, and you go through. It's covered. And you go through some.
But all of it isn't covered.
Some of them aren't covered. I know, Michael. Go with me, please. And you go through, and then you come out another side.
Come
Oh.
to the other side.
I don't think so.
Okay.
There's not really many facts on this debate. So
Yes,
I'm
there
not
is.
Big.
A fucking hole. I'm
Ooh.
cursing too much, but a hole is a hole. It's open. An opening. That's what I define it as a hole. I don't know about what Merriam or what Webster says.
Ooh, meme of the week here. I hope all you guys saw the dude sitting in front of a table with a sign. Organized religion is a scam. Change my mind.
We're not getting into
I can't do this right now. Next week we'll call you. 2 weeks we'll call you in and we'll have you call in for organized religion.
Done.
2
If
weeks
I'm not
I'll be
working,
here.
I'm done. I'm down.
Where are you going to be?
London.
He's
So
going to
we're
be
gonna
in
miss a
London
week.
in 2 weeks. Oh my!
So unless you can find someone to do this.
What do you mean? Do what? Leave
Take
everything.
me
I'll come
over.
over here.
Huh?
Leave everything. I'll come over here and call you.
I'll be on a plane
Shout
on
out,
Tuesday.
shout out.
Oh yeah. What about next week?
Tuesday.
Next week I can call you from home.
Whoa!
I'll be on.
You going home again?
Yeah.
Spring break. It's my spring break. I'm going home for Easter.
Shout out road trip.
So yeah, you can call me.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
If someone wants to tweet at
I'm
us
gonna
how
eat
many
all your
times
food.
I've shouted someone out, please let me know.
Alright.
I'm gonna eat all your food.
Nah,
That's
I'm gonna
fine,
eat
I
all
don't
the
care.
food.
Eat those. Bro. Eat that.
Yo,
eat
you
that,
wanna start cooking?
Tomato sauce. Eat the tomato sauce.
Yeah, we will.
Do it.
Dude, let's
It's
go.
good, dude. I slaved over that.
Good.
Hashtag slave.
All right.
Hashtag 12 years.
All
That
right.
was a good movie.
Let's
It
finish.
was.
Let's finish off with our inspirational quote of the week. So, it's more of a saying, I think.
If I die, I die.
But here it is.
Everybody dies. You either kill yourself or get killed. What you gonna do?
Not be a bitch.
All right, here it
That's
is.
not bad. Real.
Fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours.
But see, I don't
I
feel
just feel like the
anything.
music on The Lion King playing right now. Dun, da, da.
Yeah.
You want to play some outro music? Can I play some outro music?
We can play some outro music.
All right.